Welcome to session 47 of Computer Network. After completing a complete 46 sessions of a Computer Network, I hope that you can understand how technically these computer networks becomes an essential components of as per your skill is concerned. As per your skill is concerned. Now, in session number 47, that we are going to study in detail about how this UDP architecture is relevant and how this UDP architecture enables us to understand the various criteria and the various application that makes to know more about UDP and what are its level of implementation is concerned. I'll tell you in brief, when we know that there are the certain amount of transmission is required, there is a certain amount of transactions should be availed, then it is always necessary to make an accountability. This is one of the simple session, I mean a simplest session to know the different patterns of how the UDP architecture. Let before we begin with this session, I would be glad to introduce UDP has begun a way back in a conventional way of computing network. Even in the when the first time the computer network is connect to P2P parameters under the local area network using a TCP/IP with maybe an IPv4. So UDP has taken a strong foothold on the different aspects of your computing world. Now, UDP not only helps to make a detailed accountability of a data transaction, it also enables us to know the different patterns of understanding UDP in a real-time situations. And these application means the UDP architecture applications will help to transmit your conceptual level ideas into a skill-based learning. I just want to give you an idea that if you go to a Google and see that a demonstrative lot number of demonstrative videos are there that shows the realistically how UDP will functions and how UDP will works, and download a small utility based softwares which many engineering students or many computing world computer net students have designed, so that you can able to understand practically how this UDP data formats will be render their services, right? Now the next is, what is UDP? UDP stands for user datagram protocol. In a TCP/IP protocol, using an IP transport datagram, it's similar to an IP datagram, but UDP has much more advanced than the IP datagram. The reason behind this is it allows an application to send a datagram to another application on the remote machines that enable you to standardize one system of data bearing to another system of data bearing, or one system of data readiness to another system of data readiness in the flow of data packets, either in a sequential order of data packets or randomized data packets, or maybe a we call as associative pattern of a data patterns. Here we need to know the different associative members, we call the data members. And this UDP, that is a user datagram protocol, will ensure the prominence of data transmission in the process of identifying it. And these delivery and duplication of detect always not guaranteed. This means that here it only allows you to take an association help from an UDP, but it never ensures the kind of responsiveness. And of course, in IP also we cannot expect an responsiveness. These are the protocols will ensure the standard implementation in the practical aspects of data transmission. And here the low overhead faster than the TCP because of its designing architecture of UDP. These are the UDP characteristics. So the main characteristics enlist over here, because when you are appearing for many examination, one regular question which always appear in many university examinations, what do you mean by UDP and what are the essential characteristics enlisted in UDP? One such character is end-to-end. Here I am talking about end-to-end in the sense one P terminal to another P terminal or one autonomous system to another autonomous system. An application which sends and receives the data to and from another application. That will list out the various application standards. And as per the connectionless is concerned, application does not need to pre-establish communication before sending data. And application does not need to terminate communication when it is finished, because it's a continuous flow and the next level of a datagram comes, again it will keep transmitting. So because it's a connectionless, where we cannot authorize to authenticate. And one of the characteristics is a message oriented. Here the message oriented means application sends and receives an individual messages, not a packets. Now the difference between a data packets and the difference between in allotted message oriented packets slightly differs. Slightly differs in the sense data packets are fragmented in the form of frames, but messages in the form of an isolated constraint or individual data packets is called. Here the frame will not be followed. This is one basic difference. There are many such differences which you keep listing out. The difference between TCP way handling of a data fragmentations or the data transmission and the UDP data transmission. And the best effort to the same best effort delivery semantics is an IP, that is a message can be lost and duplicated and corrupted. This is another. But here we can rectify this particular error in a standard dimension. And these standard dimension like arbitrary interaction, where the application communicates with many or one other applications, our operating system independently identifies, and it always does not depend on the OS, it has its own mechanism of initiation. Even if you can implement a Windows of any version or maybe the Linux, this protocol, UDP protocol will associate taking a help from services on the basis of transmission. All right. So when we move on to one of the important thing here is identifying an application. UDP cannot extend an IP address, no unused bits. What does it mean by UDP cannot extend an IP address? See, UDP is basically a monitoring mechanism rather than holding a data payload. And UDP mechanism will ensures the protection from transmission rather than taking on its own payload. And one of the important difference here, UDP cannot ensures its originality of a payload. It only carry over to a next hopping system. That it cannot use the OS depending quantity because its process ID, task number and the job name can always associate with a n number of chances which is uniquely passed on. And there are the different techniques like each application assigned an unique integer, and this unique identifier you can find it in a port number. That's a very important here. And each mechanism which you ensures can be transmitted on the n number of protocol mechanism system, right? Protocol port number. UDP uses a port number to identify an application as an endpoint, and UDP messages. Okay, before we move on to the second point, I just want to clarify. UDP uses a port number to identify application as an endpoint. This means that here each UDP take a help of a port number which is been communicating to a devices, a physical devices. And these port number are physically allocated and logically communicated. What do you mean by physically allocated and logically communicated? Physically allocated in the sense address you find, and carrying these datagrams to logically to a particular address is like a carrier. And UDP messages are delivered to the port specified in the message by the sending application rather than the carried wave. Okay. Another important sort of port number here is, in general, a port can be used for any datagram as long as the sender and the receiver agrees. If the sender and the receiver does not agree, here it may terminate or the port may not be reissued. It will dump into the where exactly it is being begin as a source. In practice, a collection of well-known ports are used for a special purpose, such as a telnet, FTP, email, port 7 for eco application, port 5 for FTP, or port 4 for telnet, and many more such things, right? Local operating system provides an interface for process to specify and an access a port. I'll tell you what do you mean by local operating system and a standard operating system for network. Suppose if you have a Windows 8 at a local terminal, and your Windows local 8 terminal can access the resources from a Windows 2000 server. So whatever the port which is been begin from the datagram will not impact on the local of a Windows 8. Windows 8 will automatically detect what number of packets which are arriving as a messages to be allocated one physical port number, and that becomes an important criteria for allocation of it. And local operating system provides an interface, as I said, and specify an access to a particular port of it, right? Next is, these are some well-known port numbers. List of UDP port copied from these services on a Solaris system, and these are the representation. What these representation intend to address is, Eco has 7 UDP which is in addressed, discard 9 parameter of data bits, daytime, charging, time, name, domain, boot PC, TFTP and NTP. These are, one is network time protocol, trivial file transfer, or boot of client system, domain name server, we call as a domain, or the DNS. There are the many such port numbers which we can easily allocate locally. Okay. Next, one of the important criteria is UDP multiplexing and demultiplexing. What do you mean by multiplexing? When we completely focus on multiplexing, has a n number of channels to be synchronized to transmit from host to a destination and reciprocately destination to host. Multiplex can be demultiplexed to read, vice versa. So sender multiplexing of UDP datagrams has a n number of data process in a randomized way. Each UDP datagrams are received from the multiple application programs. Before we proceed, I just want to highlight at the streams. Say for example, what happens here is, let me tell you, this is a port 1. And the second port and the subsequently a third port are uniquely identified with the UDP demultiplexing based on the port transfer to UDP datagram which is arrived, and IP layer identifies and sender multiplexing of UDP datagrams has UDP datagrams are received from multiple application programs, any number of applications which are initiated. A single sequence of UDP datagram is passed to a IP layer, and all the receiver demultiplexing of UDP datagrams has a single sequence of UDP datagrams received from an IP layer. Here it doesn't recognize as a sequences. It only clarifies and transmit. And each UDP datagram receives is passed to an appropriate applications where it is definitely destined to transmit. This is one of the important application in the real time. This is a UDP datagram format, source port and destination port. Source port is a message length, destination port is a checksum. It has a data. Now the source port has a 16-bit port number, a destination port has a 16-bit port number. This means the source port and the destination port are synchronized. If it is not synchronized, what happens? You cannot address. You cannot address means if the source port number has a different and destination port has a different, then it is better to use dynamic allocation for that IP layer rather than synchronous mode. You can use asynchronous mode. Length of UDP, which carries an header plus data, as a 16-bit count of octets, similar to earlier octets of data transmission of UDP. Here each UDP checksum 16-bit field. If 0, then there is no checksum, else it is a checksum over a pseudo header. This is one of the important thing which I want to address. Now the checksum and a pseudo header. UDP uses a pseudo header to verify that UDP message has arrived at both the correct machine and the correct port. Now, if you look into this, each protocol has mentioned 0, proto and the length, including a source address and destination IP address. Length of the UDP datagram has a transmission length in this. Here in the encapsulation layering, one of the important thing here is encapsulation. What do you mean by encapsulation? Is protecting or preserving. And here the protocol layering of conceptual in datagrams are same as that of earlier TCP standards. Application, UDP, internet and the network interface. In encapsulation, UDP header consists of UDP data area, IP header encapsulated with IP data area, frame header in internet protocol as frame data area, UDP message is encapsulated into an IP datagram, and IP datagram in turn is encapsulated into a physical frame for an actual delivery. These are some standard process, and this is one of the small session as a part of computer network. So before we meet in the next sessions, till then have a good time and keep reading and watching LMS content continuously. Thank you very much.